Let me ask you something uncomfortable. What if the advice you have trusted about women, dating, marriage, and attraction was not just wrong, but actively working against you? What if the reason so many men feel confused, rejected, or quietly resentful is because they were trained to believe things that do not line up with how desire actually works? Most men don't fail because they are lazy or stupid. They fail because they follow rules that sound moral, polite, and civilized, but produce the opposite results. Be honest. You've probably tried understanding. You've probably tried communicating more. You've probably tried being respectful, patient, and emotionally available. And somewhere along the way, attraction faded. Sex slowed or stopped, respect quietly leaked out of the room. That's the problem. The problem is not that men are bad at relationships. The problem is that men are taught to ignore reality in favor of comforting stories. Stories like, if you're honest, she'll appreciate it. If you call out lies, things will improve. If you wait long enough, she'll see your value. Those stories feel good. They also get men nowhere. Here's the part no one says out loud. Attraction's not fair. Desire is not moral. And women don't respond to what men think should work. They respond to what does work. That gap between what you were told and what you lived is where frustration grows. It's where anger builds. It's where men start doubting themselves. This episode's not here to comfort you. It's here to confront you. Because the maxims you're about to hear aren't polite. They're not politically correct. They're not designed to make anyone feel good. They're designed to explain patterns that repeat whether you approve of them or not. Why calling out lies changes nothing, why niceness backfires, why desire doesn't reward effort the way men expect it to, why words mean less than behavior, why men who understand this would move differently than men who argue with it. You don't have to agree with these ideas. You do have to wrestle with them, though, because once you see the pattern, you can't unsee it. And once you understand why certain men get consistent results, pretending otherwise becomes impossible. So stay with me till the end of this episode, not because it's comfortable, but because understanding the rules beats being confused being confused about the outcome. We're going live, baby.
We'll do it live.
You're listening to the premier podcast for men who want to not only be better with women, but want to be better men in general. This is the Come On Man podcast. And here's your host,
Paul Bauer.
Paul Bauer.
Paul Bauer.
Paul Bauer.
Paul Bauer.
Paul Bauer.
Paul Bauer. He is a certified master life coach and NLP practitioner.
It's true. It's damn true. Merry Christmas, you savages. It's Christmas Eve, and we are live. If you guys are new to the channel, my name is Paul Bauer. I help men level up and get better with women. And the funny thing about doing that is it tends to make us better men in all areas of our lives. Now, I thought it would be fun to take a look at some of Roissy's best maxims today. If you're not familiar with Roissy, he's one of the original 3 R's of the manosphere. He used to have a blog called Roissy in DC. He was a pickup artist of sorts. And he ended up getting doxxed, I guess, at one point, and changed his blog to Chateau Artiste, right? And so, but he's still one of the original 3 R's of the manosphere. And when I say the 3 R's, you have Roissy, Roosh V, and Rollo Tomasi, right? Well, Roissy, he had a whole list of maxims. Right? He would always, like, in his blog articles, he would be like, Artiste maxim number 25 and have something witty to say, right? Well, someone took all of his old blog articles and compiled them all into a book called Artiste on Game. And you can get that on Amazon. I don't know if it was Roissy himself that put that together or someone out of like India or whatever. But on X, there's a Heartiste account, and they post quotes from his book all the time, and they're always promoting the book, but I think they're out of Spain or something. I don't know. So I don't know if it's him or not. But anyway, at the end of the book, they took all of his maxims from all of his different blog articles and put them all in one chapter, and it's all just his maxims. And the funny thing is that he always numbered his maxims, but he didn't put a logical number behind them. So there's like 20 red pill maxim number 55s and stuff like this. It's pretty funny. So anyway, I went through all the maxims and I pulled out 20 that I thought would be a real fun episode. It would make for a fun episode. So let's go ahead and get into it. The first one here is calling a girl out on her lie accomplishes nothing, right? How many of you guys often hear me talk about, calling a woman out is nonsense. It does nothing for you. It's you, satisfying your own ego, right? But it does not change a woman's behavior. So let's say you go to a date with a chick. She looks hot online because she used pictures from 10 years ago, and you meet up in person and she ends up being an overweight whale. And you're like, oh, I'm going to hold her accountable by giving her a piece of my mind and telling her she's fat and ugly and she catfished me and how dare she, I'm holding her accountable. And I often say doing that is not going to change her behavior. She's just going to keep doing that. And eventually some dude's going to like bang her. You know what I mean? Like, there's no holding women accountable, personally like that. Right. And women won't listen to you anyway, unless they're madly in love with you and attracted to you. Otherwise, to them, who the hell are you? Who the hell are you? Right. So calling women out on their nonsense solves nothing. You might as well, you're better off just removing your time and attention. If a girl does something to you that you don't like, there's nothing to say. Just walk away. Okay. Like, don't talk, walk, right? But calling a girl out, a lot of these guys are like, oh no, I have to tell her. Because that, we got to hold these women. No, it's pointless. Absolutely pointless. So that was the first maxim I wanted to share with you guys there. Calling a girl out on her lie accomplishes nothing. By the way, guys, I do have new episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, without fail, even if it's Christmas Eve. So please like, subscribe, hit those notifications, would you? All right. Now, this one's a good one, okay? The next one is bang first, befriend later. I would say never befriend her, right? Fort Worth Playboy on X, he modified this to say, are we at the 8-minute mark? I think we're at the 8-minute mark. Fort Worth Playboy on X says, fuck her first, relationship maybe. Right? But that comes from this maxim, bang her first, befriend later. There's a lot of guys out there that are trying to be the nice guy, and they're trying to nice guy their way into a girl's pants, and that is the worst possible way. Okay. You want to be sexual. You want to make your intentions known. You want to bang her first. Okay. Then have fun with her later and stuff like that. Right. But trying to go the nice guy route into a woman's past is the fastest way to land yourself in the friend zone. Don't do that kind of crap. Okay. Bang her first. I like Fort Worth Playboy's one though. Like, fuck her first, relationship maybe. Right. I like that one a little bit better, honestly. The next one I got here on the list is, in the state of nature, men are expendable. In the state of nature, men are expendable. And that's not wrong. Like, some guys might hear that kind of stuff and get upset, but it all comes down to sperm is cheap, eggs are expensive, right? This is why men fight all the wars. This is why men have all the dangerous jobs, and why men, like, society is built to protect women at all costs. And it's because men are expendable. We're completely replaceable. And, it sucks to hear, but in the state of nature, it's not wrong. Right. The next one is, if you have no game, or worse, anti-game, little else will compensate for your unattractiveness, right? So let's say you're an unattractive guy, maybe you're 50 pounds overweight. You're not doing so well on the dating apps. That's fine, because dating apps are mostly about pictures anyway. But if you at least have some charm, some charisma, a little bit of game, you can still meet chicks and do probably pretty well with chicks, especially if you're meeting them in person, right? If you're doing cold approach or social circle game and that kind of stuff, like you see heavyweight guys, moderately unattractive guys get with girls all the time. And sometimes you even see like really hot chicks with ugly dudes. And it's a lot of the times it's because dudes have game, right? But if you have zero game and you're socially awkward, it doesn't matter. Your unattractiveness is going to go nowhere. You're going to end up becoming an incel guy. And then you're going to complain about women in the world and all that kind of stuff, instead of maybe at least trying to work on this kind of stuff, right? Still working on your game. You just complain about women or whatever. I know lots of guys like that. You guys probably know guys like that too. Okay. But without game, you're done. You're done, right? A lot of people would argue that, I certainly would. I would certainly argue, out of the core four, money, muscles, game, and frame, that game and frame are the most important ones. Most important things for a guy to work on. The attractiveness is easy. That's the easy part. Just go to the gym for the most part and like wear clothes that fit, and you'll level up a little bit. You know what I mean? Money's probably the hardest part, but a lot of guys are trying to lead with their money with women, and that's a terrible strategy anyway. So if you're going to work on your money, make sure you're working on money for you. Don't do it for the women. And then otherwise work on your game and your frame, All right, guys, let me ask you this. As we go through these, which one do you think are completely wrong? So if any of these sound like completely off to you, like for instance, I know a lot of guys where it's, calling a girl out in her lie accomplishes nothing. A lot of dudes, especially in the quote red pill space, will be like, oh no, fuck that, bro. Fuck that, bro. I'm going to tell a girl off. That's completely wrong. Right. Let me know in the chat why you think it's wrong. Okay. I'm curious to know if I go through any of these, if you hear one that you completely disagree with, drop it in the chat. We'll get to the chat here in a minute. The next one it might be a short episode today, because we're literally just going through these maxims, and there's only so much you can say about these. Whenever an attractive girl tells you she hates assholes or describes her experience in the past dating assholes and claims to avoid them now, or recites a laundry list of assholey things guys do that she disapproves of, you can bet your weight in gold bricks that she needs you to be an asshole to her. What I love about this one is, have you ever heard me or anyone else in the space say, all you have to do is, if you want to do well with a chick, is listen to how she talks about her exes. If they're all narcissistic asshole jerks, you need to be a narcissistic asshole jerk, because that's what she goes for, right? That's largely what Roissy is saying here, right? If she's complaining about assholes and all men are assholes and all these guys do this, and I hate it, she's basically just giving you a playbook of what she responds to, right? So I like what he says. You can bet your weight in gold bricks that she needs you to be an asshole to her. Roissy's interesting. He has a blog article on Dread Game, right? And I like to I have my own Dread course, the Passive Dread Blueprint. What I like about Passive Dread is that Passive Dread isn't necessarily nefarious. You're not doing anything you wouldn't otherwise do, but you're doing all these different things that happen to be attractive traits that make women realize that other women like you, right? So you're not doing anything bad, but Roissy has this article on Dread Game that is so toxic. And he's talking about like how you need to cheat on a chick, let it get back to her. And then when she confronts you about it, you gaslight her into making her think she's crazy. And then you disappear for 3 days. And then when you show back up after 3 days, you tell her that she's the only one that you could possibly ever love, and then disappear for 2 more days or some shit like that. Like, it's just, some of Roissy's stuff is outrageous. And when you read Roissy, you have to sort of keep in mind that sometimes he's serious and sometimes he's not. And it's almost impossible to tell when he's serious or not. And so you got to take a lot of what he says with a grain of salt. But I think he's dead on with this one, right? Like, if a chick, if all of her exes were assholes and she complains about assholes all the time, you know that she's down with assholes because that's who she goes for. Now, this one's funny. Let me know if you guys think this one's true or not. The sweeter and more innocent a girl seems, the greater the likelihood she's been in a gangbang. I can see that. I can see that if like she seems all wholesome and like, you know, praise Jesus and stuff like that when she's around like 29 or 30. Because guy, I saw it on X the other day. Someone said a hoe's final form is religion, right? And that's because a lot of women they're reaching their epiphany phase. They're realizing that they've been riding the cock carousel for so long, and now it's time to settle down and get married. That's why all these chicks are like, I've had my fun. I'm ready. I'm tired of the games. I'm ready to settle down. They all find Jesus. All of a sudden, they're all Christian. There's that girl from that podcast, Girls Gone Bible, right? Have you guys seen that? That really attractive chick from Girls Gone Bible. She's got her cross necklace, and she's always talking about being a trad wife and how you've got to relax and let a man lead and all this kind of shit. And then like a video just went out with her and a bunch of party girls out, and they're all in the bathroom, like doing dirty shit. Like, it's such fake bullshit. You know what I mean? So the sweeter and more innocent a girl seems, the greater the likelihood she's been in a gangbang. I think if a girl all of a sudden finds Jesus around 29 or 30, I think that's probably pretty goddamn accurate. Paul, you can't say stuff like that on Christmas Eve. Like, Jesus will be mad at you for that. Anyway, this one's a good one. Okay, I'm going to modify this word a little bit just because we're on YouTube and I don't want to get demonetized. But it says, always assume she's a 304. Okay. Always assume she's a 304. It helps kick the legs out from under the pedestal you will be tempted to put her on, and it is more often than not true, right? This kind of reminds me of something that Archwinger has a really good article about guys who obsess over women's body counts, because he says that when you're obsessing over a girl's body count, and you're hoping that all these women out here are virgins, which I don't know where you're going to find virgins in 2025, 2026. I don't even think virgins exist nowadays, right? But if you're looking for a girl with like low body count and you're obsessed over it, you're inadvertently putting this girl on a pedestal, right? And when you put a girl up on a pedestal, she has no choice but to look down on you. Right. And then it's the whole concept of if you treat them like a fan, if you treat them like a celebrity, they'll treat you like a fan. Right. So if you just assume that she's been promiscuous, assume that she probably has a high body count, but don't obsess over it, you're actually going to do much better with women. Right. Because you're not going to be fixated on all this other kind of stuff and pedestalizing these women and be like, oh, she gave away her best self and she's giving me the crumbs and whatever story you tell yourself to ruin the situation, it will not help you get laid more. Okay. So just assume that she's a 304. And guess what? If you are like, don't judge these women for being 304s and you sort of embrace their 304ness. Guess what? These chicks just like, they feel more relaxed around you and they are more of a 304 around you, which just makes sex that much better. Okay. So I like this. Just assume it. Just assume she's a 304. It kicks the legs out from under the pedestal you will be tempted to put her on. And it is more often than not true. By the way, guys, I don't really have a specific book that goes with this episode. So let's just play this one.
Tired of wasting time on dead-end dates and attracting the wrong women? You put in the effort, but end up with dates that go nowhere, or relationships that fizzle out before they even start. You're tired of it. Dating shouldn't feel like a never-ending chore. And you know deep down that you're capable of attracting a woman who sees your value. The problem? You haven't been taught how to attract the right women and keep them. What if you could date efficiently, quickly filtering out the women who aren't right for you, and instead attract high-quality women who are genuinely interested? What if, when you found the right one, you knew exactly how to maintain that attraction for the long haul? With everything I wish I knew when I was 18, you'll learn exactly how to master the dating game, how to identify and attract high-quality women, how to weed out the ones wasting your time, and how to keep that attraction burning in a long-term relationship. This isn't about playing games. It's about developing the confidence and mindset to naturally draw the right women to you, while keeping the spark alive for years to come. Don't waste another day chasing the wrong women. Grab your copy of Everything I Wish I Knew When I Was 18 and start mastering the art of efficient dating. Find the right woman and keep her.
You know, Aaron Clary, Cappy, a lot of you guys know Cappy from his YouTube channel. And, you know, and by the way, I don't know if any of you guys know this. The reason why he's called Cappy is because he used to have a blog called Captain Capitalism. And so that's where he gets that. But he reviewed Keep Your Bitch last night, which it's always wonderful for Cappy to review my books. He does the best anti-reviews ever. But one of the things, like, it's funny, I was actually talking to him before he did the review last night. And he was just completely lost as to the purpose of the book, right? And I just think that's just because Cappy just doesn't like women that much, right? He's like, what? Why would you want to keep a bitch anyway? I don't get it, you know. But anyway, so I was telling him my thought process, right? I was like, well, you know, get her to fuck you again is for married guys who the relationship's gone downhill and they want to turn things around. And so if they're able to turn things around and they never want to find themselves there again, that's where Keep Your Bitch comes in. I go, but if they aren't able to turn things around, they find themselves broken up or divorced, well, then Forget That Bitch is the next logical book. And then once they find a better woman, they're not going to want to find themselves in that position again. So they're going to want to keep their bitch. Like, that's my thought process there. Well, anyway, he's like, it would have been better if, you know, if you did Keep Your Bitch first. And then when things don't work out, you get them to fuck you again. And then when you can't get them to fuck you again, you dump that bitch, right? So then you got, I was like, you can read it in any order you want. But he was saying on his review last night that he's like, you know, Paul might want to consider renaming Everything I Wish I Knew When I Was 18 to Get a Bitch, because that's what he talks about in Everything I Wish I Knew When I Was 18. So yes, guys, if you need to get a bitch before you can keep your bitch, then Everything I Wish I Knew When I Was 18 is the book for you. Anyway, God bless Cappy. God bless him. He's like, so I talk about masculine and feminine energy a lot because I am pretty woo-woo, and he was giving me shit about that on his podcast last night. He's talking about shoving chakra crystals up his ass or something. I'm like, you could do that, Cap. You don't have to do that though, you know, to be spiritual. You don't have to shove crystals up your ass if you don't want to, Cappy. I mean, if that's what you're into. Oh man, what do we got here in the chat before we continue this list? Nurse Chick's in the house. She says, "Merry Christmas Eve, gentlemen." Yes, Nurse Chick.
I'm so naughty.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna come.
Yep.
That pussy must be ridiculous.
It is. She's going to be coming up later tonight to bring me a pecan pie because she knows I love pecan pie, and my mom doesn't make pecan pie, and so Nurse Chick's like, I got you, babe. You just don't worry about that. I'm going to bring you a whole pie." And I'm like, yeah, you will. Dark Fitness says, "Merry Christmas Eve, everyone." Yeah, good to see you, brother. I'm glad to see you in the chat here. Let's see here. I am skipping CJ because he's just spurging out in the chat. I'm just favorite Bullet Club member. Ooh, that's a good question. I don't know if I have a favorite one. I would say I do like the Good Brothers, though. I would say like they're like, you know, they're a tag team, but I like the Good Brothers. I'll say that. So too sweet to that one. Dark Fitness says the cuttlefish method. Ha! Might as well start scissoring with her. He's talking about nice guy game. If you guys have never heard the cuttlefish method. Hey, brother John's in the house. Good to see you, man. Good to see you in the chat. Erkin says, toxic or not, we don't care. We just need what works. Exactly. It's all about effect. Does it work or not? That's all we care about. Oh, here we go. Dar Fitness says, what about the one who says all their exes cheated on them? Well, then you're going to have to cheat on them, clearly. Yeah. Actually, you know what? The chicks who say that all my exes cheated on me, they're usually shit in bed. They're usually absolute trash in bed. And there's a reason why all their exes cheated on them. Absolutely. There's a, if this chick says all of her exes cheated, just stay away from those chicks. That's actually a red flag. You know what I mean? Let's see here. Who the fuck is this guy spamming the chat? Yes. Let's calm down here a little bit here. Let's just, just go into timeout. Like we need to chill out a little bit. By the way, guys, smashing like is alpha. Okay. Stream Elements says so. All right. Where are we at here? Marriage is a social mechanism designed to exchange sex for indentured servitude. That's a pretty accurate description of marriage, modern marriage. So wouldn't you agree? Marriage is a social mechanism designed to exchange sex for indentured servitude. You know, it's funny. I saw yesterday on Threads, a lady posted, marriage does not guarantee you sexual access or whatever. And I was like, and I just commented, I go, well, you're not selling marriage to men very well, are you? Right? Like if you're straight up telling men like marriage doesn't guarantee you sex, it's like, why are guys getting married anyway? Because a lot of guys are like, I'm getting guaranteed sex for the rest of my life if I put this ring on it. That's really why men want to do it. It's not because of love and, oh, she's my best friend. They want guaranteed access to pussy every night for the rest of their lives. And they think it's kind of like going to the grocery store and just putting it in the fridge, right? Like that's why they do it. Like otherwise there's no fucking reason to do it, right? You're just going to give this woman all your money and resources and not get sex. Like why? Okay. Fuck that. So that tends to be what it's about. And there's no benefit for men. Name one benefit from a man to get married. I'm waiting. All right. AI is going to clip that. That's going to go viral. The prime directive of the alpha male is fornication. Anything which hinders the fulfillment of the prime directive is to be vanquished as a foe or excised from the mind as a cancer. Okay, so your prime directive is to get laid, guys. Okay, that's it. Everything you're doing is to get laid. Anything that stops you from doing that, you're not. Are you really even an alpha male? Okay, that's. See, some of these maxims like this make red pill guys sound stupid, right? Like and I talk about alpha and beta a lot on the podcast, but I'm talking about it from traits, right? Alpha traits are sexually attractive qualities in a man, and beta traits are comfort qualities in a man, right? But calling yourself an alpha male and stuff like that sounds cliche as fuck. I highly recommend you guys drop that. But but the prime directive for alpha male is fornication. Okay. Don't ever forget that, guys. If you really want to be an alpha male, you got to be out there fucking. Okay. Making a woman feel emotional pain will reward you 1,000-fold in returned physical pleasure. Let me know what you guys think about that one. Making a woman feel a little emotional pain will reward you 1,000-fold in returned physical pleasure. Do you think that's going to trigger some people? Do you think it's accurate? I think it's kind of accurate. I think I don't think it's wrong. I mean, it may be morally wrong, but we take morals off the table in red pill space, don't we? Making her. I mean, think about it too. It doesn't have to be. Anytime you use the word emotional and pain together, women will construe it into emotional abuse, right? But think about it this way. if a woman is doing something that you dislike and you enforce your boundary on her, that will create a little bit of emotional pain for her, but it's in the long run, it's good pain because you're conditioning her to not do bad behavior anymore. So it. If you put it in context, it kind of makes sense. I agree, Robert. No such thing as toxic masculinity. I agree. All right. By the way, guys, if you are getting value out of any of these episodes, do consider sending a super chat. That does help the show, probably more than anything else. This is how I make my living, guys, shucking and jiving for you guys on a Christmas Eve. So if you guys could throw your boy a bone so I can get my girl a present. No, I was kidding. I don't know. I'm just having fun here. The big reason why I wanted to do this was because I was like, well, it's Christmas Eve. Like, I don't really want to do anything too serious. And I was like, God, Roissy's Maxims are so good. They're so good. I think I want to go through these, and just have fun with it. This one, the next one is the Gina Tingle. The Gina Tingle is the principal moral code to which women subscribe. All other moral considerations pale in comparison, right? So, therefore, if you give her, so he calls it the Gina Tingle. I like to call it the vajingles, right? If you give a girl the vajingles, you can do anything you want, right? Because it's the principal moral code to which a woman subscribes. If you give her the vajingles, she'll forget all of your bullshit, right? It's amazing. So this is why you got to bang her right. You got to dick a girl down good so that you can literally do anything else. Because then any other moral considerations pale in comparison. She'll justify things. She'll make up stories in her head. Anything to keep those vajingles coming. All right. That's why the next book on my book list is going to be called Dick Her Down Right, so that you guys can learn how to properly give the vajingles. So you guys can do whatever the fuck you want. It's going to be amazing. You guys are going to love it. The meaner a girl is with you, the likelier she wants to fuck you, is what he says. The meaner a girl is with you, the likelier she wants to fuck you. I can kind of see this too. And if you go back in history to like when you were a little kid, there was a reason why little girls like wanted to they like being teased by boys. They like to sort of be mean to boys and stuff like that. It's because they liked them, right? There's a if you ever read 3% Man, Corey has a story in there about this chick. He's on some kind of, I don't know, business trip or getaway. And this chick had a boyfriend, but the whole time she was like being a little brat to Corey. And she kept going up to him and he would like spank her on the ass, all this kind of stuff. And she kept going back. And she's like, oh, I hate that guy. I hate that Corey Wayne guy. And all of her friends are like, bullshit. You fucking love that guy. You keep going up to him. It's just like you're a toddler. All right. So I think Royce is right here. The meaner a girl is with you, the likelier she wants to fuck you. The next one is a woman with inflated self-esteem is a woman who will erroneously believe she is too good to date men normally in her league, unless steps are taken to bring her self-esteem back in line with reality. So this is why negging works, right? Negging, actually, the reason why negging works, right, is because it does take a woman who it has a higher inflated sense of self because maybe she is really attractive and beautiful. And every other dude on the planet tells her she's beautiful. And you walk up and give her a backhanded compliment. That knocks her down a peg mentally. And then she doesn't understand why you're not impressed when all these other guys are. And that makes her curious. And now she starts qualifying herself to you. That's why negging works. It absolutely works. It absolutely works. There was a post on X the other day where a chick was talking about how she had a picture of her in these ugly ass pants. And she goes, negging needs to be absolutely abolished. A guy walked up to me and said, those pants were a brave choice. right? And she posted a picture of herself in these ugly ass pants, and she posted about that. And I'm like, yeah, she remembers the guy that said those pants are a brave choice. She doesn't remember the guys that complimented her. You see, who's she thinking about? This is why you can't listen to what women say, and you got to watch what they respond to. They respond to shit like negging, because if they have an inflated self-esteem, you gotta knock them down a peg a little bit. Paul, that's toxic. That's toxic, maybe, but it's effective. If by toxic you mean effective. By the way, guys, if you want to swap notes with other guys that are studying stuff like this, I think it's time to run with the wolves. Bear Club? Not anymore.
You fix what's broken. You lead like a man again. No pity, no therapy. Just fire, just frame. Cold bed, broken home. Midlife drift, feeling alone. You don't need hacks, blogs, lies. You need men with fire in their eyes. We rebuild from the ground up. No excuses, no soft stuff. Telegram lit 24/7. Brothers locked in steel, not heaven. Step inside the pack. We don't fall, we attack. Truth, fire, presence, we bring it back. Masculine pride, no time to slack. Step inside the pack. Drop your past, claim your track. No therapy talk, no playing small. We sharpen blades, we take it all.
For the love of God, somebody too sweet me for that one, man. Brother John says, part of this thinking is our overinvestment in the wham. Yes, indeed. Yeah, we are the romantic sex, right? The idealists. Accurate. Look at the bad boys who treat their women like shit, and then she wants to suck his soul out of him. Coincidence? I think not. I agree. It's science, baby. Oh shit. I got a $10 super chat. Brad Williams says, you're doing great work leading the Wolfpack. Thanks, man. I try. I'm going to give you this one here.
Respect the cock and tame the cunt.
Goddamn right. That's what we do. That's what we do on this podcast, guys. Even on Christmas Eve. Oh shit. We got another one from Dar Fitness. He said $10 super chat. Appreciate everything you do. Get in the wolf pack, gents. Goddamn right. I'm gonna give him this one here.
I was just gonna say it. This guy fucks. Am I right?
He definitely fucks this. And he says that's pretty insightful. Good. I'm glad you think so. All right, guys. The next one here. This is a good one. Okay. Beta males mate guard, alpha males disregard. Right? Beta males mate guard, alpha males disregard. Right? Now think about this. How many times have you seen, or have you been this guy, where you got a girl and you're dating her or seeing her and she's flirting with other guys, and a guy, the guy that she's supposed to be with gets up and goes and beats up the other guy, right? That's mate guarding. Like that kind of shit is mate guarding, right? Well, an alpha male doesn't need to do that kind of shit. He's just like, what? Like, okay, fine. I'll just find another chick, right? There's no reason to like fight over a woman. It's pointless, absolutely pointless. If a chick's going to do that, you know what? That dude just did you a favor because she's a skank anyway. You know what I mean? So there's no reason to get in fights over chicks, you know. And the thing is that when you are less likely to go beat up some other guy for talking to your girl, the girl likes you better because you're more secure with yourself. It's kind of an interesting thing, right? If a woman says the word sex in conversation with you or about you, no matter the context, it means she's thinking about having sex with you. That's a good rule of thumb to live by when you're dating, right? If a girl brings up sex in the conversation, just assume she's thinking about having sex with you. Just assume that, right? Even if she might not be, doesn't matter. you are going to get laid more if you assume that she's probably thinking about sex with you. Okay. Now, what most guys will do if a woman brings up sex is a lot of guys will go, oh, she wants to talk sexy talk. And they like, maybe especially if it's like first date, sometimes it's even on the dating app, women will bring up sex and stuff like that. A lot of times they'll do that as a shit test. They'll do it as a shit test to see if you'll stick your foot in your mouth. And most guys fall for that. And they go, oh, she immediately wants to get sexual. Let's just go get all sexy talk and whatever. And then the woman gets the ick and she fucking dumps you and you're like, I don't get it. She wanted to talk sexy. We talk sexy and then she ghosts me. I don't get it. It's because it was a shit test, right? So like the rule of thumb, right, is until you actually bang her, if she brings up sex or anything like that, you treat it like a shit test and you play it off, right? You're like, hey, well, you're the one that brought it up. You know what I mean? Like you don't take the bait and fall for it. She brings up sex. We're not having sex tonight, right? That's a common shit test. A woman will say, we're not having sex tonight, right? And so if you agree and amplify and say, I would never even consider that. I'm a choir boy. I go to church. My mom wouldn't approve of that. Whatever. That kind of stuff will actually get you laid more because she's like, oh, okay, and then she can relax and then have fun with it, and then she's going to be all over you. You know what I mean? So, but if she brings it up, it's because she's thinking about it. She's thinking about it. That's a good rule of thumb to live by. Whether it's true or not, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, guys. A lot of the stuff that we talk about on this podcast, it's not about whether it's fucking scientifically factual or not. It's about, does it work or not? Is it effective or not? That's why red pill's a praxeology. Okay. A lot of people are like, where's the studies? And then praxeology by definition is you take what works and leave what doesn't. NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, the practice of NLP is a praxeology. It's not like a scientifically studied thing, right? Okay. Same with red pill. Let's see here. If a okay, we saw that. We did that one. Women will not hold it against you for trying to get into their panties on the first night. In fact, they will respect you more for your boldness and willingness to follow your manly desires. Now, this was not this specific maxim, but this idea was something that I had to learn when I was getting better with dating, right? That women like a guy who's bold and he's upfront and he is more direct with what he wants. Women respect that. And if you try to play it off like you're not a sexual being trying to have sex, right? Which a lot of guys are. They try to delude themselves going, no, sex isn't the most important thing for me. The most important thing for me is a connection. Bullshit. Okay. Like, or the most important thing for me is a woman's personality. Bullshit. Okay. When you go to the supermarket, you are not walking across the fucking produce aisle to approach a chick because you think she might have a good personality that you're going to connect with. You walk over there because she's got a great pair of tits and a nice ass, and you want to see her naked tits. That's why. Okay. So if you just own that shit when you're out dating, you're going to do better with women. If you just own your sexuality and don't try to hide it, you are going to do better with women. Okay. So I think Roissy's 100% right here. Women will not hold it against you for trying to get in their panties on their first night. Women aren't stupid. Okay. And when I say it like this, it gets taken out of context a lot, but I want you to put it into perspective. For a woman, dudes have been trying to bang her since she was at least 13. Okay. Now I'm not talking about creepy old men necessarily. I'm talking about boys her own age. Okay. Don't worry about the age. Women have been chased and pursued since they were relatively young, and they know what guys want. They're not fucking stupid. So acting like you don't want sex is not going to help you because they know you do. You know what I mean? So just own that shit. You're a sexual being. The only reason why you're even out dating is because it's a fun-filled opportunity for sex to happen. And pretending otherwise is the fastest way to the friend zone. Okay, so just own that shit. Just own it. Okay, you're going to get laid more anyway. By the way, guys, follow me on social media. The links are in the description. I am on all the good platforms again. I'm up to 150 followers now on my new X account. So who wants to make it 152, 151, 152? Go once, go twice. The links are in the description for that. It's hard regrowing on a platform, man. It really is. It's hard building a whole new platform from scratch. I have 2 TikTok accounts. The one that's in the description is my primary one. That's actually my second account. The first one I got banned at 30,000, and it's taken me this long. I think it's 4 years to get up to where I'm at now on the primary account, and I still don't have the following I had on my first account. You know, now if you combine that one and then I have a backup account on TikTok. If you combine the two, I now have more people now, but still, I think a lot of those guys overlap each other. I don't know. All right. The next one here is for most women. Now, you guys might have heard Rollo quote this, right? But Rollo got this from Roissy. And I want to say Roissy got this from Puck. I'm pretty sure Puck said it first, but I might be wrong here. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, in the chat or the comments. Okay. Who said this first? Was it Roissy who said it first, or was it Puck? But he says, for most women, 5 minutes of alpha is worth 5 years of beta. All right. 5 minutes of alpha is worth 5 years of beta. He's also said it. He's also worded it as 5 minutes of alpha. It trumps 5 years of beta. Right. But I swear to God, Puck said that first. I don't know. Let me know in the chat or the comments if you guys know better. Know your fucking red pill lore better than me. There's plenty of you guys out there that do. But that's true. You know what I mean? Like you could be the most loving, caring guy who's done everything right and been emotionally intelligent and emotionally available and talk about your feelings and all that kind of stuff. And then one guy, one night, who's exciting and he's dashing and he's bold, she'll bang the shit out of him because 5 minutes of alpha trumps 5 years of beta. And then she's not going to be able to forget that guy, right? That's just how it works. You know what I mean? Like he's going to give her the vajingles, right? That's what we call a callback, guys. If you plan on cheating and get caught, act like a total dick who did nothing wrong. Your girlfriend will then wonder if it's something that she did. This is what I'm talking about. Like he has this whole thing on Dread, right? On Dread, and in his all of his Dread shit is super toxic as hell, and it's all about gaslighting your girl like this. You know what I mean? And you know what's funny? I don't know have any of you guys watched Mad Men? I never watched Mad Men when it first came out, but I'm going through Mad Men now. I'm on season 2 of Mad Men. And Don Draper is totally this guy. He's a womanizer. He gaslights his wife all the fucking time. And like, in fact, Don in this season is banging this stand-up comedian's wife. And the stand-up comedian knows what's up. And the stand-up comedian tells Don's wife. And so Don's wife confronts Don about cheating. And he's like, you're crazy. That guy just doesn't like me. I'm just like, this guy's totally just gaslighting the shit out of his wife. By the way, guys, if you want to apply passive dread, which I highly recommend you do, and your marriage is in the toilet and you want to turn things around, you can apply passive dread without getting too toxic. She used to watch you, hang on your words, crave your presence. Now, she barely notices when you enter the room. And if she does, it's with eyes full of boredom. You've tried being softer. You've tried being sweeter. You've tried everything they said would work. And still nothing. The truth no one wants to say out loud, she doesn't miss you because there's nothing to miss. But what if you can make her feel the fear of losing you without saying a word? This isn't manipulation. It's psychological contrast. It's healthy anxiety. It's passive dread. Rebuild tension, reignite her curiosity, make her jealous of the life you're living without her at the center. You don't chase desire. You become the man it fears losing. Visit dread.fixdeadbedrooms.com now and take the course. Don't wait for her to act different. Take action for yourself. Indeed. Dark Fitness says 16 watching and only 5 likes. That's a goddamn travesty, guys. All I want for Christmas is my 16 likes. Okay. All right. We only got 2 more, guys. The next one is when a woman has incentive to lie, she will choose lying over honesty every single time. When a woman has incentive to lie, she will choose lying over honesty every single time. Women, guys, women are inherently dishonest. I firmly believe women are inherently dishonest. You want to know what my evidence is of this? They wear makeup, they wear shapewear, they put filters on their stuff. Honest people don't do that. They lie about their body counts constantly, and then they have the audacity to tell men that they want men to be honest with them. Please, women will lie. Women lie all the goddamn time. Women, the funny thing about women too is women tell themselves stories so that the lies become real to them and they start believing their own bullshit. This is why they say that there's statistics out there that men cheat more than women, but a lot of people are starting to believe that no, women actually probably cheat more, but they've just told themselves the lie that they weren't really cheating for whatever mental gymnastics reason that they gave themselves so that it wasn't really cheating. And it's always like, oh, well, he wasn't loving me enough and he wasn't paying attention to me enough, so therefore it wasn't cheating, right? Like, women are inherently dishonest. So I think he's right. When a woman has incentive to lie, she will choose lying over honesty every single time. Especially like white lies. Women tell white lies all the fucking time, right? Which leads into this next one, which is never trust a woman's advice on how to please women. Her advice is designed for alpha men she already finds attractive and from whom she seeks signals of attainability and commitment, right? So anytime a lot of guys still to this day like to get dating and relationship advice from women. Women just don't have the capacity to tell men what makes them sexually interested in a man. Everything a woman will tell you is beta comfort type shit, right? You need to make her feel more secure. You need to give her flowers and chocolates and tell her she's beautiful every day. Send her a good morning text so she knows that you're thinking about her. All this kind of shit women will say, but that's because they're putting it from the point of view of a guy that she already finds sexually attractive, right? So it's always what they want in a committed relationship from a guy that they already find sexually attractive. It's not what makes you sexually attractive, though. And this is why you can't get your dating advice from women. They just can't articulate that. So guys will tell you, no, don't do any of that shit. You got to do X, Y, and Z. And then she'll want to bang your brains out. Then she'll want this kind of stuff. Then you can sprinkle a little beta on it, right? But so many guys still just want to hear it coming from women. They think, well, women know women. Women should know what gets... No, women don't know how to articulate that to a man. And another thing, too, is that if a woman feels like she has to explain to you what makes a man sexually attractive, then she's going to protect the sisterhood, right? It's sisterhood uber Alice. She wants to protect the sisterhood from a beta male, right? Because women don't want to get impregnated by beta males. So they give you this shitty beta advice, knowing that's not going to work, right? But they're protecting the sisterhood at the end of the day. So don't get your dating advice from women. Get your dating advice from men who are good with women, right? Don't ask a fish how to catch a fish. Ask a fisherman. That's legit what he's saying here. Never trust a woman's advice on how to please women. Her advice is designed for alpha men she already finds attractive and from whom she seeks signals of attainability and commitment. All right. All right, guys, that's the list of 20. It wasn't a short episode after all. Actually, it was perfect timing here. Erkin says, do men have TikTok accounts? I thought TikTok was for women. Well, you thought wrong, man. Everyone's got TikTok these days. Everyone's got them. All right. That's all I got, guys. Tune into the podcast on Friday. We will be live again. We'll be live the day after Christmas, and we will be wrapping up my Think and Grow Rich mini series, this time with Napoleon Hill's concept of a mastermind. Okay. And why it's smart to not try to lone wolf life, and why you'll level up faster if you work with other men. All right. So that's what Friday's episode is all about for Frame Friday. I hope you guys enjoyed it. That's all we got for today's episode. Do be sure to like, subscribe, hit those notifications. I do have new episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday without fail. I hope you guys have a very Merry Christmas.
This has been the Come On Man podcast. Now, go out and get it.